In the Big Ten this year, I have Ohio State finishing in first place at 11-1 and 9-0 in conference play. They always have the top recruits and transfers, just clearly the most talent on the field in every game that they play in. And Julian Sain and Jeremiah Smith is one of the best quarterbacks or wide receiver duos that we've seen in a long time. In second place, I have Oregon going 11-1, as well as 8-1 in conference play. Dante Moore, um, he could win the Heisman. I don't think he will, but I think this Oregon squad definitely will have championship hopes. But in the conference championship game between Ohio State and Oregon, I will still take the Buckeyes to win that one. In third place, I actually have the Michigan Wolverines going 10-2, as well as 7-2 in conference play. Their secondary is elite. Savion Hitter is an unbelievable running back. He is extremely explosive, super fun to watch, absolute stud. I think Bryce Underwood does take a leap at quarterback this year, and I'm not worried about all the coaching controversy that they've been through over the past few years. I do like Coach Whittingham from Utah. I think he'll do a good job, and I think due to tiebreakers, they will slot in this third position, but obviously with how the standings look, you can kind of see where the tiers of each team fall. So Michigan, for example, I have them finishing third, but I can see them finishing all the way down at sixth or seventh, possibly. At number 4, I have my favorite team, the Illinois Fighting Illini, going 10-2 as well as 7-2 in conference play. I am predicting them to hit their fullest potential this year. I just see the good in this team. I believe in Coach Bielema. They're disciplined. They're always under the radar. They don't have too tough of a schedule, so I really like our chances to be a strong team and in the top 25 yet again. At number 5, we have the Indiana Hoosiers going 10-2, as well as 7-2 in conference play. They're still great, but they just lost a ton of starters and impact players from that championship team. Curt Cignetti is the best coach in all of college football. I don't think it's too early to say that. I think he proved last year, over the past 2 years really, that he is undoubtedly the best coach in all of college football. So yeah, no matter what the team looks like, no matter what injuries happen, Indiana will be competitive and be vying for that spot in the conference championship game. At number 6, we have Penn State going 10-2 and 7-2 in conference. They completely overhauled their roster with Coach Campbell coming over from Iowa State, as well as many of the players, including Rocco Becht. I think they will definitely be back on track to being a powerhouse name in the Big Ten. And then at number 7, it might be a little bit of a surprise to you guys, but I got the Minnesota Golden Gophers going 9-3 as well as 6-3 in conference play. They're one of my biggest sleepers in all of college football this year. Anthony Smith is a phenomenal edge rusher. I think there is potential for him to be a first-round pick in the draft. Running back Darius Taylor, behind such a strong O-line, they can ground and pound their way to victory, and their defense won't give up much points. At number 8, we have the Iowa Hawkeyes going 8-4 and 5-4 in conference. This is just your standard Iowa Hawkeyes football team. We see it year after year. They're always solid, never great. Repeating history this year for this team. At number 9, we have the Maryland Terrapins going 8-4 as well as 5-4 in conference play. I truly do believe that this is going to be a Malik Washington carry job for the most part. They do have quite a bit of talent compared to the majority of Maryland rosters, but it's still not enough to hang with the upper echelon of the Big Ten. But at the end of the day, in those close games, I do trust Malik Washington to get it done and win those games. At number 10, we have USC going 7-5 as well as 4-5 in conference. They have to play Oregon, Penn State, Ohio State, Indiana. The schedule is just not favorable to them. As much talent as they have, simply put, this conference schedule for them is brutal, and I don't think they're going to be pulling off too many upsets this year. Kind of the same song and dance at number 11 for Nebraska. I think Nebraska is a borderline top 25 talent team. I don't think that's where they're going to finish by the end of the season. Again, 7-5, 4-5, super talented, and the schedule's tough. So USC and Nebraska are in the same boat this year. We'll see if one of them rises above, but I still both have them firmly making a bowl game. At number 12, you have UCLA going 6-6 and 4-5 in conference play. They're good enough for a bowl game, but that's about it. They're not going to make any noise or pull off any major victories, but definitely a solid, well-rounded team. At 13, we have the Wisconsin Badgers going 5-7 as well as 3-6 in conference. Hard-nosed defense, but a very, very, very lackluster offense. I can't stress that enough. It is looking gloomy. Hopefully Camp Randall can buy some home field advantage upset wins, but yeah, I'd be pretty shocked if they ended up getting a bowl game this year. At 14, we have the Washington Huskies going 5-7 and losing 7 conference games, going 2-7 in conference play. Damon Williams is one of my favorite players in all of college football, so why would I put them this low? Well, I don't like the rest of the roster, and year after year, they lose a lot of receiving talent. They lost Denzel Boston the year before that. What was it? Jalen McMillan. They replace it from year to year, but this year I just don't feel as confident in their receiving core as I did in years past. At the end of the day, though, I do think this is their floor. Damon Williams could have a Heisman season, and they can be all the way at 8-4, right where Maryland is. I think that's their peak. But with how it turned out this year, I do have them hitting their floor. At 15, I have Northwestern going 3-9 as well as 1-8 in conference. They just don't have Big Ten talent. Simply put, that's the story for Northwestern. They have to start recruiting and getting transfers, which I don't know if or when that will happen. At 16, we have Rutgers going 3-9 as well as 1-8 in conference. They're just a bad team. It's unfortunate because they're a very storied school, but yeah, this year there's not much hope. At 17, we have Michigan State going 3-9 and 1-8 in conference. Again, such a storied team, formerly great at football, but at least they have basketball now with Jeremy Fears, Cohen Carr and company, because football is going to be miserable for them. And speaking of miserable, at 18, we have Purdue going 1-11 and winless in conference. They are in the depths of hell for college football, and it's going to take many, many years for them to dig themselves out. So those are my Big Ten predictions for this year. We're going to keep going through all these conferences, but this is my favorite conference, and I think other than the SEC, this is the best conference in college football, so let me know what you think. Love God, love others, love yourself. Peace.